we have a quorum?
Yes.
It looks kind of empty.
Welcome everyone. Oh, Jeremy, you're moving.
Yeah. I decided to see things from a different perspective for a little bit.
Oh, that's a pun, isn't it?
All right. Sure. All right. Well, we'll start the meeting, and you'll see there's an additional body here. And I've asked Kent Atkinson, who has been on the board before, to fill in for Bradford's term, which is 2025.
Thanks.
I wonder
And
so,
Do we need to vote on that?
yeah. So I know you're going to say no, but let me tell you why you should.
What?
So that's how the bylaws work. I was
The
wondering that
bylaws
question.
are saying that we need to vote, the board needs to vote, the remaining board can vote on that. So I would have a motion to accept Ken Atkins to fill the remaining term.
I so moved.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
We got you.
I've already told you.
You want more?
Is this it?
This is it. I
This
think.
is it.
Okay.
Sounds like it's all the title, but anyway, I'll have Michelle. Yeah, Michelle have it.
Dry muffin. And avocado?
Yes. I like the bacon and avocado.
Any English muffin or toast?
Yes.
I don't know how they do this, or they remember this about everybody.
Butter scrambled,
Yes, ma'am.
And it ain't just us.
scrambled egg to be
Just once a month.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna have to get rid of those.
So Phil, you can go back on the
Oh, yeah.
newsletter.
I'm just doing coffee this morning, and my wife's joining me for
Well, I
breakfast after the
assumed you
meeting.
made that
Gotcha.
Because there's no mention of time in prison.
Sir?
I didn't tell her that.
2 scrambled eggs and wheat toast, please.
Sure.
Anyway,
Denver omelet,
Toast or pancakes?
toast,
Wheat? All right. Thank you.
This one of the earlier.
okay. We are ready. Did you get some? Okay, good. All right. Well, let's go ahead and start with the financial report. Do we have one?
Financial report?
Yes.
Yeah, I sent out the financials
Yeah,
yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did everybody get a chance to look them over? Any
Yeah.
questions?
Oh, well, I did.
What is it?
Always
Well,
like to see if
I
she has
read them. But no, I was just curious about some of the people on the aging summary.
Yeah.
Like Mike Finello, it's minus 312.
Yep. He overpaid last time.
He overpaid. Does he come to meetings?
No.
No.
Okay. I was almost like, is he still a member?
Well, it's St. Luke's AP
Okay.
that processes the payment. So,
Oh, okay.
and I think that when Jody transitioned,
Yeah.
she retired.
Yeah.
They might have paid for her, and Jody paid for herself. So there was a credit. So, yeah.
And Ed Stevens, I know he was what, Falls Grant, I think?
Rob
Is that
Stevens?
Rob Stevens, yeah.
Rob Stevens?
Yeah, usually that one comes in. I don't know why. I'll probably have to follow up. Now, I did send letters to certain people.
Yeah. Because some of these look like Nolan.
Nolan, Nancy.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Jeremy, am I on
was
that
weird.
list?
Yeah, you're on the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
I ain't paying.
Yep, stay on.
Tony Mayer.
Oh,
Tony's usually builds up like 2 or 3, and then it gets paid.
yeah.
Okay.
I was kind of surprised Mike Felton hasn't paid yet, but
Yeah.
some of these people I just need to follow up on.
Yeah, I was just.
I'll have a lot more time to dedicate next week,
That's okay.
so
I just had some questions about that, but other than
yeah,
that.
no, that's fine. Ask what. Usually I have to prod Lindsay Westberg every a couple times a year, it seems like, but once I do, it gets taken care of.
Yeah, I was surprised Rob was still paying. He doesn't ever come.
Yeah,
It's probably hard to remember that you need to pay for something if you're never there.
well, it goes through accounts payable at Fallsburg, so a lot of times I get checks for some of the folks at the morning club, Falls Brand and the
Yeah.
city are notorious for that.
Yeah, because John's
So-
in the morning club.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder, I was thinking, now that he's in Falls Brand, I forgot that he was still a member, like, maybe we should approach him for some money. The bathroom.
Yeah.
I know John Howard did personally, he gave us money for the bathroom, but not from Falls Brand. So anyway, I was just
Okay.
curious. Okay, that was the
Yeah,
only thing
no,
that
that's
I
fine.
All right, so on the updated agenda, I put on their first federal CD to wealth management. And Steve Irwin called me last night, he works for First Fed, he kind of watches our account. We have 2 CDs in there totaling, what's that, 285?
Yeah. I'm gonna get
Something like that. Well, anyway, he was saying those CDs are about to come due. They're on an 8-month or 11-month flexible CD where you could actually take out portions of it without being penalized.
Okay.
But it's coming due. And so what he was recommending is that they have a wealth manager over at the store over on Cheney, and he could manage that for us, and we could draw out as we need it when it comes time.
Okay, and
for
still
the
make
best,
interest.
and still make money, and they're only taking like 0.5%, but you're still going to be making more than if you had it into a checking. And some of the CDs are coming down. Right now, we're making 4.85%, which is pretty good.
But right now, we don't pay any.
We're not paying anything yet. I know they're coming due in about 30 days.
So the wealth management will be in a CD, but you can take it out.
Yeah, it's being overlooked, and they invested into other things, but it's all security investments.
Is there a threshold below which you can't go without not having that? Can you take it down to 10% of the
Oh.
original?
And the second question is there a number of withdrawals? Because when we've done that for ours, there's you can only take out 2 withdrawals before there's a penalty. So I think those are the 2
I
questions.
know that's on the CD, I think, but I'm not sure. I can find out. It was just a question that came up.
But if we kept them where it is, we could still,
Well, they're going to expire, and then I don't know.
you can't roll over.
I don't know if it's going to roll over. I don't think they have that instrument any longer.
Oh,
So-
It could go into a fixed CD, which then we'd be charged. Yes.
Do we have a schedule? Do we know, approximately when we're going to be paying out for the construction of the bathrooms? Okay.
Not
So
yet.
my concern would be, are we going to move it over here just to put it in there for a month and then
Right.
just expend it?
Right.
Like, what would be the benefit in
Well,
that?
that was the source of my question too.
Right. I understand that would be my concern also. It's like, I go to all that effort. And we're going to know more as Peterson Brothers does their reprice and gets a construction schedule for us. So,
Do we know
Our
that?
plans still haven't been approved by the state yet. The demo plans have been approved, but the construction plans have not. And we submitted on May 14th, but we got the demo approved in July, and now it's September. I mean, Ken, how long does it take for the state to approve the construction? So that's kind of like, we can start the demo, but we can't start the construction yet until they're approved by the state. No, it's the state, because it's on CSI property, which we
Yeah,
found
they're
out
contact.
after 4.5 years.
Colby gets submitted the plans for us. So,
Whoever you're talking to, your architect,
yeah.
whether she's got that one.
And that's why we're kind of like in limbo, and it's crazy.
And if you can get a name with the contact of the state,
Okay.
that'll be fine.
And then when do we think Peterson will have their updated, where did that correlate with the CD renewal? The CD is going to expire in a month. Do we know what their cost is going to be around that time frame, so we know whether or not?
But I think you need to get approved building plans. I mean, they can give you a price update, but what if we have comments?
Yeah, well, I just meant for do we lock in? Just
Yeah,
leave the
they're
CD
doing,
and
they're requoting everything because we gave them a list of everything that we got in kind. We had to confirm again with our people, okay, you are donating still, it's been a while. So they have the list, so they're sending it out to get quoted, but then you have the problem of the plants, because their quote's only good for what?
It's like 60 days. So.
Yeah, so it's, if I'm not totally gray by the end of this project, it'll be a miracle.
You're just gonna say you're going gray, not going bald, so it'll be all right.
Sure.
Maybe all.
So what do we do
So-
about, so what should we do here?
Well, we still have 30 days, so
We do have 30 days to decide.
yeah. So we could certainly do an email vote if it comes to that. We'll have more information as we go along.
So those are good questions, so you can direct that.
I think it's a good idea to keep it earning as much interest as possible for as long.
Right.
Yeah, I think it earned more than ice cream funded. I'm like, wow,
We're
what
making,
about?
I think 500 a month, 6 or 7, something like that.
My bank offered me like almost over 4% if I would tie up a certain amount of money for, it was like $1,000 for 5 months, for 4 months. So that sounded like a pretty good,
Right.
the higher interest that I've heard for years.
Yeah. No, it is good interest.
It's about to go up.
Yes.
So, looks like buildings up. There was 57 permits pulled for houses last month. That's pretty. All right, so we just need approval of the financial report. Need a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We also need approval of the prior meeting minutes. I skipped over that from last month. You guys get the meetings minutes, read those?
There's only one
Abstention.
boo-boo in there. Phil's last name was spelled wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Had a B in there for brilliant.
That
Anyway, so
explains.
that was the only boo-boo I saw.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Motion
We
for
okay?
approval of,
We're all right.
We're okay, okay.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes from our meeting.
okay. All in favor? All opposed?
Could we do them a little bit sooner so that I got them, kind of, but I didn't have time to read through the report, the financial report, and the minutes.
Okay.
Yesterday,
Sharon.
that was really pressed for that. Thank you.
Kevin, you might record one abstention on that vote because I wasn't here.
Oh,
And I didn't vote on any of those two. It's worked out for us, I think.
okay.
They're kind of like, here, what are you gonna have the air conditioning so loud?
He was making sure he was an abstention because he wasn't here.
Right.
And,
I'm doing the same thing.
I was here spiritually.
yes, boo-booey.
Kristen, Phil wasn't here for the remote meeting last month.
Yeah?
You hear that, Kristen? Shake your head.
But I'm here today.
We can't, don't, food can't do this way either. All right, now we're gonna do a bathroom update, even though we think there's a bathroom.
Yeah, so where we are is, like we just said, the Peterson's doing a
You're welcome.
requote of our quotes. Kevin and I had to go back to our previous people who did in-kind to make sure they were still on board, which I think they all were, right? So we had to give Peterson a list of all the in-kind donations, so they didn't have to send those out for quotes. So just on the ones that we're doing. They did finally do an agreement with the city for the demo part, and they stuck with the price of $5,280, which the city is paying for. So that was good. Also, the city said that we could start sometime after October 15th. CSI wants their grass to stay green. That's fine. The other thing is Ken helped us with a state inspector because we now have to have inspections on our project. And we did talk to Jeremy Peterson about, because when you pour the concrete in the winter, you have to do all these things to keep it warm, like blankets and additives, and that can actually add 30% to the contract. or to the bid for concrete. So we did talk to Jeremy about, well, what if we do the demolition part, keep it, keep the blankets, and then do the concrete pour maybe in the spring, just if it's so cost prohibitive, because 30% is a lot. And I think the quote was what, 90,000 the last time? So 30% added on to 90,000 is quite a bit. But we're also in the dilemma of the plans. So as soon as we get the building plans back, they could have things on there that we might have to change or do. So we're kind of we can do the demo, but we can't build. So that's where we are. Does that forget anything, Kyle?
And then, so we could start around the 15th. And we've talked to Nolan Wally about getting his help.
Yeah, he
On the
is.
building?
Yeah, he has a lot of guys that need community work. So the reason the city went with Peterson for the demo part is because they could work with us. They know we want to try to save the lava rock. We're going to have the steel roof and the wood recycled and reclaimed people. So it would be easier for them to work with us where we can get that done. And Nolan's guys can help with the demo part. So that's good. It's taken a while to pin Nolan down. I think some of the priorities or stuff for the guys have changed. I don't know. But other than that, we're moving forward, but then in a holding pattern. So because God forbid this bathroom should be built. This will happen. It's happening. And then I'll start to plan. I talked to Brittany Cooper because I had coffee with her about doing a news report audit and cover the groundbreaking. So I think we just have to see where we are with the plans and then schedule groundbreaking with Peterson and the city and us. So
was the 15th of what month?
October.
Awesome.
Yeah. And hopefully it would be a warm fall. I don't know. Kent, what point does it get too cold for concrete?
It's when your overnight highs get below 32.
Below 32?
So it's, you need to go all the way into November.
Okay, without having the additives and stuff. Okay.
And the fear is prior to the concrete setting, is you lost the concrete and you destroy it.
Yeah. But CSIR redid their electrical portion, so anyway, that's where we are.
Good work. Hold the ball up on the mountain.
I never wanted to tell because of actually, but I might.
So do we need to have a ceremony of turning the first level of dirt or something like that? Or?
I will probably just go out and in front of it, and then tear it down. Don't you think? I mean, what else? Peterson has all these gold shovels, so they're used to doing this. We just have to figure out a time of day. More.
Order some
Anyway.
rotary hard hats.
Yes.
Order some rotary hard hats.
Yes,
We did that when we did our groundbreaking on our sober house.
that'd be good.
Little plastic hard hats aren't much.
We need your rotary stickers to put on the hard
Yeah,
hats.
do that too.
Okay. All right, moving along, we got the mini library update. Another construction project.
Yeah.
That has dragged out, a lot longer than what was anticipated. But we are moving forward, and I checked yesterday because I must have misunderstood Mr. Lopez because he had told me that his crew would be pouring on Wednesday. So I thought it was Wednesday yesterday, maybe it's Wednesday next week. But I checked and the pad's not there, but we're that close to it, so. And Mark Cawthor has got the post all ready and need to drill 4 holes and rounded, and we're excited. It's not as exciting as the bathroom, but it's exciting to see progress, that's for sure. And I'm hoping to get some members of their board and the people who have worked on this project together for a photo op. If
Does
any of
the
you want to
library
be there,
itself?
You're welcome, huh?
Okay. Yeah, does the library itself have some Rotary symbols on it or
Yes.
some
Kevin-
attribution?
Yeah, so the people that have been involved has been Kristen, who built it
Right.
at district conference a couple of years ago now. And Leon Smith, who painted
Okay.
iconic images on it of Idaho. And myself, who's been kind of like the conduit between all these people. And Kevin, who has put the Rotary emblems
Okay.
on it.
Good.
And,
Well, maybe
Mark
we
Crawford.
could,
and Mark Conifer, who has done the post.
Supposed to support.
so if you have a date of when it'll be
That's
ready,
not like
maybe
it.
we can contact KBT for that. They can do a story on maybe the libraries around town and what we're doing.
Contact who?
I mean,
KMBT.
I could contact Brittany and the reporter, and maybe we could get KBT out there, maybe cover it.
Well, that would be cool.
You know, and maybe do a story on these around town, because some people don't realize you can take a book and, you know, borrow it or take it back and put books in there, you know, it would be a good little story.
Well, one of the things that when I started with this subdivision board, is there had been a really nice article in the Times News about the 250 little mini libraries in Twin Falls.
Really?
250?
Wow.
250,
Wow.
yes. And so I've seen a few of them. And one of my favorites is actually down there in front of the school district office. It's all four sides, or all three sides of it is painted like library books, titles all the way around. Very appropriate for the education occasion.
I think it'd be a good story, because I don't think a lot of people know what they
No.
are or how to use it. It'd be good. Anyway.
That's a big number. That really surprises me.
That is a
That's
lot.
surprising.
Well, that was in
That's-
Times News, and so I could refer those people to it. Anyway, yeah, it's been a process, and it's been fun and frustrating.
Be
I've
nice to
learned
see
more
it
patience
complete.
since I've moved to Twin Falls than I've ever had in my life, because things move slow here.
They do. Yes, they do.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next item, Peace Poll, Dave.
Okay, on the peace poll, we talked more about this in the last meeting, but, you know, Kyle Tarbett, now a member again,
Yay.
is completely bought into this. And when I met with him just to discuss the concept, he immediately jumped into how they'd like to customize it, maybe where they want to place it, and he was really excited about it. So I went ahead and after we talked about the potential to share the expense and do it as a joint project with the After Hours Club and the Morning Club, I reached out to them, and I just actually heard from Tammy Gooding from the Morning Club yesterday, and she said that their board has approved to proceed to participate in the project. I haven't connected with Kathy Clements yet for some reason, so I need to make more of an effort there, I guess. Haven't heard back from her. So we're still in the preliminary stages. I'm sure there's going to be a stage where officially the chamber's going to have to approve to do this, and we need to make a formal reach out to them about some of the details about going about this. One of the things that I learned in talking to Kyle that really surprised me is that for sure one of the languages he wants on the poll is Chinese.
Oh, they have so many Chinese visitors.
I had no
They have so
idea.
many
He said
buses
they
and
bust,
buses.
yeah. Unbelievable,
And
yeah.
they buy little things of gold there at the visitor center. No, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah. So,
Yeah.
so I thought that was refreshing, but
I think that's great.
so we're making progress on it, and it's going to be somewhere between $500 and $700 by the time we customize the poll, and depending on what expenses the visitor center chamber might share in, we've got to pour a little pad and do that kind of stuff. I'm going to use Mark as a resource, I think, now to help us do that. But yeah, they're excited about it. So technically, other than that poll that or multiple polls I think they've done up in the Boise area, this is the first one that will be through this organization.
So is the poll going to be custom made, or is there a poll that you order and then have it finished?
There's a company you order, you decide what messages you want on it, what languages you want. You need 4 messages. We can put Q codes on it, we can put our logos on it.
Awesome.
We can put they also offer a little, I don't call it a plaque, but so the blind can read the pole,
Braille.
those kinds of things.
Braille, yeah.
Yeah, Braille, thank you. So, yeah, there's like 350 some odd of them that have been placed around the world. Might even be a bigger number, I'm sure by now it is. So, yeah, we'd be the first in Idaho, I believe, to do this poll with this organization.
Are they all at the same height? Are there
No,
Okay.
no.
standard height?
In fact, they have little periods where they offer little specials with different pre-designed decorations on them for different themes. But the basic pole is, you can kind of picture in your mind a vinyl fence and a corner post. It's about that size, and white is kind of like the default color that it comes in. And then you can do 4 feet, 5 feet, 8 feet.
Is there a filial or anything on top?
A what?
A filial,
A filial?
filial.
No, it's a fredial, actually. in
I'm
my
great
other
at
neighborhood.
scrambled. Is there
It's got a
like
cap
an
on it.
eagle or a ball or a...
No, it's pretty basic, because I think the
Revolving
focus is you
beacon.
want to get the message
Right.
on the sides.
Uh-huh.
And, but yeah, we have the ability to customize it.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So
Neat.
Tammy's message was that they'll split 3 ways up to $700.
Yeah.
So it could only cost us a couple hundred.
So we got a third of it covered, or 2/3 of it covered now.
Awesome.
Okay, great.
Yeah, the piece posts kind of look like this. I just pulled up the rotary ones, so they've got 4 sides and a little point on the top of them.
Okay.
It was in the August
Yeah, it was in the newsletter.
Rotary magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get to see?
Yeah.
Did you get to see?
Like Sunday.
And in May we turned into
Dictionary project update, or dictionary. We have, I got numbers from Ryan of Twin Falls School District with 654 third graders. Used to be like 800 or 900, which tells me that a lot of the either there's not as much population growth going on, or they're going to the private schools. To the,
That's a big hit.
yeah. Or to Xavier, Pinecrest, and Jim Pratt.
Jim Pratt.
So the project would still end up costing us about $3,300 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we probably have about 100 books left too.
Huh?
Oh, we still have 100. That's good.
Huh?
So
I know that Deb Thomas has had a concern about handing out dictionaries because people are using. Didn't you say something to me once?
Sharon
Sharon
and I
did.
just had to say it was more of Sharon. I just was questioning like why do we do that? How to actually
Right.
getting up to date on each project of what do we do? Why do we do it?
Right.
Do teachers really want dictionaries versus everybody looks everything up on a phone or a tablet? So. Mhm.
Of course, a lot of the schools like Lincoln and Bickle.
Cell phones out of school. Those are good questions. What
I know.
What are the answers?
My feeling is
I
that
don't
there's
know.
a real need in the individual classrooms for individual books for children to read and to check out and to take home or whatever. And, I don't want to take away a long-standing tradition in our club,
Yeah, I agree.
but I just wonder if the money might not be better suited and spent to actually be in a place where students have access to books that they'll actually read, because they are excited. And the teachers have to make room and space in their schedule for us to come in, so it's a disruption to their classroom. But they're very good about that because it's kind of expected they're doing for so long.
And some
I'm a
of
kid.
those kids, it's the only book they've ever had.
They're-
It's so touching. Like in Lincoln and Bickle, the lower income schools, I mean, they are so thrilled, and that's like the only book they have ever had.
Well, I'm not knocking the book.
No, I know that, but I'm just
I'm
saying.
saying
like,
that we
you know,
could give them another book other than the dictionary.
You're
In
saying
addition to,
instead
you
of,
mean,
or
No,
In
it's
addition.
in addition or instead of, or
Instead
not
of.
at all. I'm just saying that as I've talked to people, teachers, educators, and as I thought, what my grandchildren have done with the book, it just seems like, yes, it's an exciting day when you come in and you present them a book. And children who have never been presented a book, as Jill just pointed out, yes, but they have access to those 12 continents or to those 50 states and the capitals and all those things that you're presenting and telling them about. They have access to that on their smartphones, or not smartphones, but on their phones. And it's kind of like, people who live in a low-income housing, they still have 2 cars in the family, or they still have a TV in the living room. And that's kind of like what's happening with the kids with phones in the schools.
The company that we get the dictionaries from has other book selections and different versions of the dictionary. So there's other things. We don't have to do the same dictionary every year.
That's true.
So
this is a project that Rotary has that has been done by the Fuel Club. And this company stopped making it, but then they started it up again. And it's called the Ideas, the Literacy Project here, where you actually take these books. They're about, I think they're like $4 or $5 a piece also, but you go in and read to these students their activities and get them involved to read to them. Set up a time for like a half hour to actually go in and read and talk about this.
Which would be as much fun as it is for you to go in and present the books.
yeah, engaging with the kids is. When I did Harrison last year, I did my little presentation. I went out the door, and 3 kids came up and grabbed my legs,
I know.
and it just tugged at my heart.
I
So
know.
much. It
Because
just,
they won't have that forever.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
as you get older, and you're like, oh yeah, here's my dictionary.
Oh, yes,
I've heard
we
that,
were-
yeah.
We were walking down the hall in Bickle, and the janitor said, I still have mine that was given to me when I was in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm not an
Yeah.
educator, but I'm married to one, and those smartphones are doing the kids a disservice.
Oh, absolutely. I think if we
I
could
think
not give it to them.
I'm going to tell a little testimony. I received a book when I was a kid in the school system in Germany. I still have it. It was the first book I ever had. And I got into the practice, I think some teacher, this was 1st grade, told me to underline every word I had to look up, or I had gotten points off for misspelling it on something. And I did that, for 20 years. And it's really concerning how many words are underlined. But it is one of my absolute treasures to this day. And going back to a different book that made a difference, we think that books are passe. They are not. What's her name? Rowling, that did the Harry
J.K.
Potter.
Yeah.
She reestablished that love of books in
Well,
kids,
as a
and
retired children's librarian,
that return to
really
reading.
neat.
So I think this makes a huge difference. I'm absolutely committed to continuing. Some dictionary, and a lot of dictionaries have like the presidents and the states and
well,
the
that's the one
countries
that
of
we
the
did.
world
It's
and
more
the
of an
flags.
almanac than it
Yeah.
is a
The one that we
dictionary.
give traditionally has all that in it.
It's such a resource and such a treasure. I
These
think we
kids
should
are, if
continue.
you ask these kids what 3 times 7 is, they'll Google it.
I know.
Right.
And I'm telling you, it's, if you're not concerned, you should be, but if you have any, whether it's teaching to read or whatever, they're so connected with electronics, they
The
can't
other,
function.
the other
And
thing
even
about
at
this is
3rd
it
grade.
would still be
Oh, I
the
know.
first
I'm-
book. They would still be getting a book. I'm
I'm-
just suggesting a different book than a dictionary.
I still like the dictionary. And the reason is because it's
I'm
on
to a
campus.
dictionary.
But
I personally think.
could you do
Okay.
both?
Well, I don't know. And then the other thing is that we're getting Interact, or trying to get Interact off the ground. And if we had a read-in, we could get the Interact kids to be able to go in and read. So you would have a peer-to-peer situation almost.
That's a great idea.
To have a
Interesting.
3rd grade, or to have a 8th grader or 7th grader reading to a 3rd grader. That would be very impactful.
Yep.
So, anyway,
Well, what's the club's commitment? Why couldn't they do both?
Sam?
Well, we budgeted for the dictionaries about $3,200.
I want to say it's like 36. but-
36, okay. This project, I've looked at this project per classroom is I think about $300.
I have,
So-
at one time, I had 200 children's books in my personal library. At one time, I gave 60 of them away at once to underprivileged children at a library over in Garden City. So I'm very well acquainted with children's books. I can tell you the best authors and illustrators out there. And in my community, we had a community read-in where people would come in, the mayor would come in and read to the kids in the month of February, which was the Read Across America month. So that's something that we could also do, is capitalize on Read Across America. It was kind of a Dr. Seuss celebration, but everyone in town came in and read to the kids at any grade level during that week of Read Across America. So there's lots of options. When we went to district this last year, it was one of the things that they suggested at district as well, is to do a literacy project for kids.
So you shared a lot of this with me after district of wanting to see about a children's book instead of a dictionary. So that's what led me to ask a lot of the questions. So I still don't think I have a good grasp of how many schools do we do? Only certain schools in Twin Falls? Do we
Do all schools.
we do
All
we do
the
all the
public
third
schools.
grade classrooms?
All of school district, Twin Falls School District.
Okay, but
And then we
it's
do all of the charter schools, and we do
The parochial schools.
parochial schools.
great. Okay, because that's the one
And
question
that's
I
how
had.
we get up to about 900.
That's good. And to me, I still have my dictionary that I got in the 5th grade, and it's a paperback, and it's got loose leaf pages in it, and Mrs. Christie, same kind of thing. You had to underline, and you write little things in the margin, and where's your synonyms, and where's your antonyms. And I thought about a few years back throwing it away, and I'm like, well, what if the internet goes down? What if this? What if that? And so I'm a huge proponent of keeping what we're doing, but I also hear what you're saying, and I know other communities, like the community I came from in Ohio, during Grandparents' Week, it was every grandparent and then all the pseudo-grandparents went in, and every kid got read to, and the people just brought a book or two in, and sometimes it was donated to the classroom, sometimes it was donated to the person you read with. But anything we can do to expand, because I'm with you. You know, if you listen to anybody in healthcare, anybody in the tech industry, these things are ruining young people's brains. And if you can, even as adults, if we can limit our screen time and keep the babysitter away from from kids until their brains are fully formed.
Well, and I talked to Jen Rogers, who's our assistant district governor, about this one, and I said, have you heard of this? I said, yeah, we used to do it. And it was very successful.
Yeah.
Buell is obviously smaller than Twin Falls, but maybe we would want to try this in addition to the dictionaries for the Target, maybe Bickle and Lincoln, because those are our lesser kids.
And I think that we have such great community support from businesses. If you would say to a business, I need a book drive that Rotary's then going to take in gently used or brand new books, you'd be amazed how many books that you get. I mean, we do it just internally when we find a struggling family that comes in for counseling, and we're like, hey, we need, and our own employees, they fill up more things than we need in our little supply closet of books and diapers and toothbrushes, and and that's not even a community ask. So
So do
The
we
thing
have
with
to
these
decide on
books
whether
is-
do we have to decide on whether we're ordering the dictionaries because it's already September?
It's September and it's dictionary time.
So are we gonna vote on whether we
Yeah.
should do that or not?
Well, we've budgeted for the project, so
It's $3,300.
it's 33.
Yeah.
We should be able to cover it in the lower numbers if we still continue. I think we need to get a count from all the other schools of what we have, but I think that,
What question do you want to
A motion to approve.
yeah, you want to go
So
ahead and
moved.
continue the
But
dictionary
I think
project.
I'd like the book idea, maybe we work that into next year's budget or find a way to move that one. I think that's
I
worth.
just want to add one more short comment. So we don't have to do this district-wide. We could do this like at Bickle, even Magic Valley High School and Head Start. All of those areas are areas where that underserved are being served through those entities. And so, or we could take any one of those, but to start with, I would recommend Bickle and the Head Start group. And that's about CSI. So, anyway.
I think you should make a
Thank you
motion.
for
We have
bringing
a
that
lot.
up.
I have to make a motion
Yeah.
on addiction.
Motion made.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Get some numbers. I'll find out who's on the dictionary committee. All right, picnic update. Any
The indoor picnic,
indoor picnic?
obviously, we're not gonna have a meeting next Wednesday, so it's, next Wednesday night, the 18th, from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Pizza Pie Cafe, which is off of Canyon Crest, in behind Schwab and Everton Mattress there off of Pole Line. And it's all you can eat pizza, salad, pasta, dessert, drink. It's gonna be less than our normal lunch cost.
How much for guests or people that don't do meals?
It's $8.95 for the kids, $11.95 for adults.
So what's Rotary charging now? What are we going to start on that?
We need to decide that, I would
Yeah,
guess,
that's what I'm
yeah.
wondering.
Yeah, so,
So, yeah, do we?
Because you would have to include like tip or things like that, tax and stuff.
yeah.
Do
So,
they get tips?
This doesn't
Yeah,
replace our
I think it's-
meeting, though, does it? We're still having our meeting.
No meeting in the day.
No meeting, this
No
is
new
our
meeting
meeting.
that day,
Okay.
no, yeah.
And it's 5 to 7, right, Dave?
Why are we
5:30
not-
to 7:30.
5:37, yeah.
Why are
Is it
we,
in the back area
why are we going to
outdoors?
there?
It's gonna be indoors, they reserved that corner for us in that northeast corner in the back.
Yeah, we'll
They're
be
just
able
gonna run a
to
tab,
get
so when you
together.
check in, let them know you're Rotary, and
Yeah,
they'll just run a tab for the end.
yeah, it's just a casual meeting. Are you okay with knocking $5 off of a member's bill or what?
Yeah, we can give people a credit for coming. Yeah.
Oh, is
Next
it,
time.
is it
That'd be
the
good,
same
yeah.
as when we have it in the summer where the family is invited or included to come?
Normally the family pays for her child. So members that pay for meals on their dues will get in with no charge, but with a credit. Their guests will be charged $11.95, and if you go with children, it's $8.95.
So are we gonna do that internally as opposed to asking them to pay
Yeah,
on Wednesday night? Okay.
Yeah.
And it'll show up on their bill
Good.
if they bring guests, not
Okay,
if
good.
Because actually, I mean, if you, well, I was going to say you could just have them pay, but are you going to factor in extra money? Like say it's 15 for guests? I mean, I don't know, just to cover extra costs?
I think we just wanna cover our costs, and
$11.95 plus tax, figure a
And
tip.
then tip, yeah.
the math would be, we're saving money versus going to Stonehouse, so, yeah.
14?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, we'll get a flat rate now.
And you're gonna send that email out
I
to?
will send that out as soon as we
Okay.
figure out what we're gonna charge.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, moving on, All Club Service Project was scheduled for October. Mike McBride said because each club's got stuff going on right now, to move it into about March. So we'll have more. And,
It'll be cold then.
yeah, and the idea on the All Service Club project is to also get schools, like high school students, some of their key clubs, or interact clubs or whatever, to help participate.
this is
in that.
cleanup.
Clean up, yeah.
Who's driving that?
What's that?
Who's driving that? Who's leading that?
Oh, Mike McBride from
Okay.
Kiwanis.
Okay.
Okay.
And I am on
forgot.
this, on my side, and then Dennis Boyer on the Optimus side.
Okay.
So,
And people are, like, the youth are oriented to safety precautions and gloves and this-
oh yeah, they provide you with all
not just a safety vest, like what you're going to find to pick up in today's world
Like a weapon?
is a weapon,
Which they found.
drug paraphernalia,
Right.
needles.
Yeah.
Like, don't just go reaching in.
Right.
It's kind of a,
the, okay.
yeah.
You know when
I
this is scheduled?
hate the
Cheerful.
Sometime in
I
March.
Watch
hate the
out.
publicity of youth stuck with needle. That I work in drug and alcohol, and I know what's out there. So it's
They did find it
Okay,
good the
I need
last
to move
time.
on because we have 9 minutes. And Turf Club update. I'm going to give you a Turf Club update. I talked with Mary Ann, and we can go into their speakeasy, but it's only going to hold 30 to 40 people.
Oh, wow.
So you may have to filter people back out into the lounge area. or switch, I'm not sure. But the idea was that we give them one drink, and then we would buy hors d'oeuvres, or appetizers, I should say, that could be shared.
The club is going to buy one drink, and the club's going to buy one appetizer.
What's going to come out of our, we normally spend $595 at the Stonehouse right now,
Mm-hmm.
because we commit 35. So yeah, we would have one drink, like a beer or wine. If you start going to the other cocktails, then that's going to be added. Yeah, we're going to give them a ticket for beer or wine, or one of their specialty non-alcoholic drinks.
Or what if they just want a soda or?
Yeah, they can do that. Soda.
Okay, fine.
So is this Christmas?
No, this is October 23rd. 23rd.
What time is it going to be?
It's from 4 to 6. Because, well, yeah, no, it's early.
Really?
Yeah, it's early because they
dinner.
have, this is, they wouldn't normally let us in other than the connection. Because
They have standards.
they have standards and,
I took care of that.
Our riffraff would not be allowed in. You guys could. I wouldn't be allowed in.
Thrown out of better joints.
You better not be caught in there, yeah.
but it would give you a chance to, see what they've created in the remodel there. It's really nice. I've been part of it since they started the whole process.
Did I read something somewhere about in the speakeasy, it's so dark in there that you can't see beyond the immediate people
It's
that you're
not
sitting
that
with?
dark. No, there's enough light to see.
Go around with a flashlight and say, "Are you a Rotarian?"
No, you can see.
Depends on who you ask. People either love it or they don't.
Right.
Like that's.
But it's a membership program, so we're not.
Oh, I
So
didn't realize
we're
that.
getting in there without the membership.
It's marketing.
The Stonehouse is doing one downstairs also in their place.
I know, what a coincidence, two entities coming at the same time and both of them putting in speakeasies for the first time.
What's the background on it?
It's other.
Okay.
It's other.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll catch up with that one. But anyway, that's kind of what the details are. So we'll be limited. We'll have to get, Marianne wants a list of kind of who's coming ahead of time, a couple weeks ahead of time. Not,
So we'll just have people RSVP.
Yeah.
And if it's beyond 40, then,
yeah. I mean, we could go out to the lounge area, which is also nice. We've been there.
or maybe we should just do just Rotarians and not family members. Just do it for,
No,
over
there won't be
6, because it
kids.
would be in lieu of a
My
meeting.
wife's not going to let me go out
Okay.
there and drink
So-
without her.
okay, keep going.
All right.
Yeah, I was to say there's some people that aren't going to be comfortable. Like, oh, we're going to be a date, and where's your wife? I mean,
Right.
if people, I don't know
No, I
about
think
not,
that ain't no
not letting.
Is that why they call it a
If
speakeasy?
it's limited, it's really, yeah, it's just a rotary. But anyway, we can talk about that as we get closer.
We're going to get closer to that. Okay, raffle tick changes. What I was thinking about, people get, we hardly make any money at raffle. What did we make yesterday?
Yesterday it was like $35, so it was 18
Oh, that's
at
not
Polio and 17 at the club.
Yeah. Okay. What I was thinking of, we could instead of do 2 for $3, but how about giving $5 off to somebody with an arm's length of tickets?
But how much is $5 for tickets anyway?
7.
It's a 7. Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like you get more tickets, more chances in there.
Oh, you're saying up your bottom buy
Yeah, $5 you get an arm's length or half arm's length
for
of
$2 for
ticket.
$3. $2 for 3 tickets for
Yeah.
$5 each.
An arm's
Seems like
length.
a lot.
Who's the measurement?
Whose arm? Yeah.
The sergeant at arms is the measurement?
The sergeant at arms, as long as it's all the
I think
same
that
that
might be
particular
good.
I mean, I
time.
don't think they make
It will. If you have the motivation to put in $5, so when I was at Beer Fest, they just sit there. They're selling these at $5 a piece. These arm points. I go, oh yeah, that'd be great. Well, obviously I was in a batch of thousands of tickets, but still I
They are
had.
drunk and they've lost their sense of judgment.
Yeah, but I wasn't.
Clearly.
So you take a note.
So you think people would be more likely to put $5 in, so we would earn
Versus-
more for a
Yeah.
Arm's length.
More
Arm's
chances.
length.
Well,
Mhm.
if you really get more
And then your
tickets,
deck of cards go faster because it's more likely that somebody's going to win, and then.
No, your deck doesn't go any faster. Statistically, your odds of winning go down.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to
Yes.
say, he was nodding. I was like, that's not the way math works.
yeah, that's right.
But people do it because they think
Right.
my odds go up. That's why we have jackpot in Las Vegas.
But they get more of a chance of being drawn.
Well, the only way to know is to try it maybe
Yeah.
once
Yeah.
and see
Just
what
change
happens.
it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
See what
Have
happens.
fun.
How about we try it for a month?
It either works or it doesn't.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right, we'll try that for months. Speaker donation, $10 to another group.
Yeah, we used to do different. I mean, we've had the same one for over like 2 years now. I think we should change it up. I think we should do it each year, maybe, or each 6 months or something to a new charity.
Yep.
So we could do $10 to Wellness Tree, or we could do it to the animal shelter, pets, people for pets, or, change it up, since we don't really give stuff out these days into our bathroom project, or whatever. I was just thinking that we should change it.
That was one of my questions too recently is why is it, how did we decide on that one and why do we keep the same one? Because there's so many good, useful charities.
So should we do it for a year or for 6 months to different ones? What do you think?
Well, I think
And
at
how-
least a year, because if it's $10 at a time,
Yeah.
6 months is not going to make much of an
Right.
implant.
Mhm.
But yeah, expand our footprint a little
Yeah.
bit is good. Gets our name around. Does anybody have any ideas?
I was saying, how do we vet? Because I mean, I could name 10 places right now that all would be
Sure.
worthwhile. So, how is it just like a different?
I think this
Those
is one of those
charities comes up with
privileges
an
of a president.
Okay.
There's no
Yeah.
great way to do it.
Yeah, I didn't know whether it's like, oh, the people here decide or the president decides, but
I don't know, I wasn't in on the last decision, so.
I don't remember the last decision. I have to go back through the notes.
Mhm.
But-
Well, prior to the bathroom project, we gave regularly to many,
Oh, yeah.
charities every year.
That's
we'll
what we used
get
to
we'll
do.
get back to it again. Hopefully.
We should, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely, yeah.
so would that year be January to January or July to July?
That would be the July to
July. That's the
Coincide
board,
with the
I would think,
president.
July.
Fiscal year.
change now.
Right. But we can change this. We're ending a quarter here, so we can finish up and start October with a new one.
Kevin, do you
Or
have
finish
any?
out the year with the current one and then start a new one?
Well, I would
That one's
like to-
already had 2 years.
Do you have a suggestion?
I don't at the moment, I have to think about it, but I think we run with Magic Valley Children's Museum for a while, and we've done well for us. We're obviously not going to help, we're not going to get their building built with the funds we're giving them, but we certainly help with their projects. But I think it's time to come in with another one. I can come up with a name by 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
So,
So would
And I
you
think
would you
that's-
ask us if we have a particular recommendation to call you or
yeah,
buttonhole you?
you,
And,
yeah.
Okay.
absolutely.
I really like that protocol that as the president comes up, they get to choose the one for the next year.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
good.
I
and
think
that's just a
yeah,
Yeah, it
privilege
could be
of.
like your pet project.
Right.
That's a good one.
Mhm.
part of your legacy.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Magic Valley Symphony donation. I meant to bring the letter, but they've requested funds. We have them in our budget.
What did they request?
What did they
How much?
300 for Maestro Circle. And it helps provide them with music.
So
It
we
gets
have
our
it in
name
our-
in front of the right people
And
too.
we get an ad in the book also.
Yeah.
They have 4 concerts a year. So I'm just, we budgeted for it. I just want to make, we have it approved for this year. Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, excellent.
Do we donate to the Magic Valley Chorale? Or have we?
We haven't, we do symphony. Well, this is the Magic Valley Symphony, but we do the municipal band. I have no update on the girls' state, so there's no point in talking about it. And,
I-
over time,
So I have a question about protocols. How does it work? Who becomes president-elect? Like, I know the other roles, but like how does that work in Rotary? Whenever
Well,
somebody's a
technically,
president, somebody's a treasurer, somebody.
we were supposed to have a vice president, and we don't.
Okay, so somebody becomes vice president, and that. Okay, because I was like, legislative officers. I know your role. I know Kristen's role.
And I
as
also,
past president.
Dave filled in for.
What are you saying?
Who did you fill in for?
George?
Yeah, Gerard,
Yeah.
he filled in for his, so Dave is up, you are up, and you will be up.
What does up mean?
And our term ends
Sure.
in July,
God,
or the
okay.
end of June.
We're
So
like that close.
So
Gotcha.
we'll need three new board members
next July.
next July, which we need to, and the election is technically supposed to be in December.
Okay.
So we need to start talking to some
Didn't we have
And
a
Yeah,
so,
let's
discussion?
talk.
so that's the question of who's up, but like who becomes
Well,
you
normally
next
it's-
year?
well,
Who becomes the president? Nobody
has
becomes.
stepped
We
up
don't have a
yet
vice
to become
president.
next year.
Okay, gotcha. That's why there isn't one. Okay, I understand.
Usually it's
So
a
that person
violent
volunteers then to be the president-elect or vice president?
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of confused about, it was president-elect and then it became vice president.
The vice
Well,
president is the president elect
And
of
then
most
it's- And then
organizations.
it's the
One and the same.
president-elect.
Yeah, used to be just called president-elect.
Right. And
Mhm.
too many titles.
3 terms.
So,
Back in the
so
day.
So is Bayhoff still on that board?
she is, she's just not here. And, yeah, she just started her 3-year term.
Yeah.
So does it have to be somebody on the current board?
No. Could be a past, somebody on past board that could serve.
Could it be from the general membership?
If they've served on the board,
Okay.
yeah. Which
Figured as much.
most people that come have served on the board, so.
Yeah.
What membership we have showing up, which is around 30 people these days. So, kind of club of 80.
Has Steve Irwin been on the board before?
He has.
He's expressed an interest
I know
to
he
return to
has.
the board.
Yeah.
Oh,
In
yeah.
fact, for next year, he told me, actually.
Okay.
Actually, I think he'd actually do
Oh, yeah.
What did you say?
Steve Irwin has expressed an interest to return to the board, and
Well,
Oh, awesome.
this will
Eventually.
be for you guys to go out and see who else we can get ready for June, July.
July.
But we do need to hold the election. Technically, you hold the election in December, so we need to start looking for people.
The election of board members
Board members, yeah.
and then the officers of the board at that time also?
Right. So, anyway, this meeting's gone over. I apologize. Now we go forward. I would make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
second.
Second.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Kristen.
Bye, Kristen.
Hi, Kristen.
Bye, Kristen.
See ya.
Bye, Kristen.
The Vanna White wave?
That's right. Something like
I
that.
cannot hear anything you're saying. No, I can barely hear.
Probably
He's-
Bluetooth and somebody in the cooking
That's her
room.
in their
So
headphones
you know
while
all
they're.
those stuff,
Oh, yeah.
things they put in their ears? I got a pair of those when I was working in my shop, just thinking around.
Yeah.
I threw them out because they remove all the sound
Yeah.
and you can't hear anything.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah. Or I do them and I have you put it in one ear so that you can hear out of the other ear.
we were doing a runway in Drome and a guy almost got ran over. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
surveying and he had music going in his ears. And I walked right in front, and this is right in front of a roller. So it wasn't like a high speed, and the
Oh.
roller damn near got him. And so when we go out there, it's, contractors, I said, it's outlawed.
Yeah.
If I see any of you out here playing music, I'm gonna escort you out the job.
Good for you.
Absolutely.
Dr. McKee.
That's- It could be done right,
New
man.
technology that we see, and
Dave's
my
wife
wife
used
always
to work
talks
for
about it
him.
in the classroom.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible.
The kids will be sitting there and their phone will, even if they're not working with their phone, but it pings.
Oh, yeah.
And it totally distracts them
They said
from
that
engaging in whatever they're
he's really
doing.
good. So, yeah.
Over a
And that adds
That
up.
is Pavlov's-
This is an
Pavlov's
uneducated,
Pablo's theory. It takes that pathway and goes, ooh, what's happening? Something exciting.
And it's
She's having.
addiction. It's
Oh, it is. The technology addiction is severe. We see it. I mean, if people come in for treatment for alcohol and drugs, the first thing to do is take away their technology, and they are
Okay, sorry.
miserable for about the first 7 days, and then they're like,
once it takes them that long to
That's
kind of
7
break
days
that,
before.
Follows
sever
the
that
same.
yep, it follows the same neurobiology.
Exactly.
of the
that-
addiction
of
of
other
like
addictions.
drugs,
Yeah.
alcohol, whatever.
Sugar, chocolate, they're all that dopamine pathway,
Yes,
the
serotonin,
feel-good
dopamine,
pleasure.
yeah.
Yeah, you can see the phone light, the brain light up when people have the technology in front of them. If you ever do any research and stuff, it's amazing. Yeah, and it doesn't matter whether it's the ping or people that have set it to where it like flashes the light. It gives you that,
You
feel
get that
good.
little deal.
Yeah.
I used to teach a lot of courses, and you know, there'd be, and I'd say, I want your phones off, and then I'd say, look, and if you don't do it, if you just silence them, I know, because it's not normal to look at your crotch and smile.
Yes.
And everybody would laugh.
Yep, and it's so true. That's exactly what happens to people.
Exactly.
Hi, Jeremy.
Not normal.
We do gender-specific treatment, and we will say to these, 50-year-old men, we're like, "You're acting like a 16-year-old boy." Like, just
Exactly.
showing us like you got
So
that.
I know I spend my whole day on this, and to me to relax, I'll go plug it in and put it away.
Yes, today.
And
For me, if I ever I'm on call this week, and so I need to have it on 24/7.
You never
But I
have
don't
one.
sleep well the week that it's on because I'm like,
yeah.
We've got to be
So when I pick up
addicted.
firewood, that's my root creek. That's so, because my cell phone doesn't.
yes.
It's gonna be-
So I get a day
Hi,
of no
Cheryl.
service.
That's what I will tell them. Like I'm out kayaking or I'm out four-wheeling. You'd be like, I'm not
Don't call
available.
me. Don't call me. I'll call you.
Deb, when is your
Of
surgery?
that.
Good seeing you, Fred.
The 28th of October.
Oh, okay.
Getting closer. Yeah.
Goodness.
Let me look.
Any worries? Well, you know what you gotta go through.
Thanks, Kat.
So I'm anticipatory for